Yaiga Africa did not deploy the parallel vote tabulation for the FCT elections. Here are key observation findings. One, as stated earlier, the late deployment of election materials and delayed commencement of polls. We observe that in most polling units visited on election day, there were late commencement, or there was late commencement of the polls, and also late deployment. Polling officials, we observe, encountered difficulty in locating assigned polling units due to the newly created polling units. These logistic hiccups were exacerbated with the late arrival of police officers at registration area centers. For instance, a visit to the Super Rack in Wuse 3 primary school revealed that as at 10:25 a.m., one of the vehicles conveying materials and officials to the polling unit was yet to depart the premises because the officials complained about confusion in identifying the polling unit. Our second finding, the technological glitches with the Bimodal voter accreditation system. We observe that the BVAS machine was deployed across all polling units. However, the usage of the BVAS was fraught with challenges ranging from wrong configuration of the BVAS to respective polling units, the BVAS failing to accredit voters, delays in the RATEC response to BVAS complaints in polling units, as well as delays in authenticating voters within the processing time. Unfortunately, these delays, the challenges, delayed the process and caused a major burden on voters who waited patiently to be accredited to vote. In some polling units observed, INEC deployed 2 BVAS to polling units with high number of registered voters. However, we observed that in some polling units with over 1,000 voters, INEC deployed only 1 BVAS, indicating inconsistency in the guidelines for the BVAS deployment. 3, the functionality of the INEC election results viewing portal. Yaiga Africa monitored the election results viewing portal. In some LGAs, the returning officers declared final results while results were being uploaded on the platform. As at 2:30 p.m. on Sunday, February 13th, 2022, chairmanship results from only 1,757 of the 2,229 polling units were uploaded on the portal. Whereas for councillorship results, we observed that 2,065 results from 2,065 polling units were uploaded on the portal. Yaiga Africa will issue a comprehensive report on the results viewing portal in our subsequent and perhaps our final report. Our fourth finding was on the violation of electoral guidelines. We observe violation of electoral guidelines, the election guidelines, in a lot of instances. For instance, in some polling units that we observed, voting cubicles were set up in a location, in a way and manner that does not guarantee the secrecy of the ballot. We also observed that the fingerprints were not checked using the BVAS, as well as indelible ink were not applied to the cuticle of voters. Fifth, voter disenfranchisement. Yaiga Africa observers report disenfranchisement of voters as a result of missing names on the register deployed to polling units. In the centers where disenfranchisement occurred, the voters were holders of valid permanent voters card and they were assigned to those polling units. For such voters, INEC online voter verification portal also verified their registration status. Upon investigation by Yaiga Africa, we discovered that INEC allocated voters to new polling units without informing voters of the changes to their polling units. This created confusion and prevented some voters from casting their ballot on election day. It was the uneven distribution of voters to new polling units. We observed imbalance in the distribution of voters to polling units, and this caused a lot of challenges with the management of the polling units, especially in polling stations with over 1,000 registered voters. This led to overcrowding, because in cases where we observed that you had both polling units with high number of registered voters and also low number of registered voters in the same location, we wondered why there were still polling units that had 2,000 registered voters and another with about 5 or so registered voters in those polling units. Our recommendations. First, we call on the President to, without further delay, give assent to the Electoral Amendment Bill 2022 before him. Secondly, to INEC, we urge INEC to undertake an audit of the BVAS and ensure all the technological glitches with the devices are resolved ahead of Ekiti or Osun off-cycle elections to prevent possible disenfranchisement of voters, but also inspire public confidence in the technologies that INEC is deploying. To avert possible voter enfranchisement in subsequent elections, INEC should synchronize all its registration or voter registration information with the newly created polling units on its offline and online databases. Timely upload, and we reckon and we want to emphasize this, the timely upload of polling units results on the INEC online portal will boost public trust and confidence in the election results declared by INEC. We therefore call on INEC to continue to maintain the highest level of transparency in the results collation process by ensuring polling unit results are uploaded timelessly.